What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dudes Who Bet Daily Show. Just Papa Dude and I today. Magic not coming on Sundays, and Mr. Somich is flying, so we'll have to take us home today, Papa Dude. Are you ready, and can you handle it?
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure without those two. I think we can do it, though. I think we've done it before.
Yes, we have done it many times before. We also have picks from Somich, so we will have his picks read out on the show today as well. He did send in a best bet as well. So Somich has got you covered. I'm sure nobody's surprised about that. All right, though. Listen, everybody wants to talk about football. We'll get to it in a second. I do want to talk about two games that are non-football before we get to them. I want to talk about the Bruins and Carolina tonight at Carolina in the NHL. Carolina minus 130. The total is 6. I picked this game out because this is a really good game, and I bet the NHL wishes this wasn't happening during NFL Sunday because it's a really good one. Who'd you pick in this Bruins-Carolina game?
This is a tight one. I mean, if you want to just watch two great teams going at it in a middle of the season type of game, this is it. How much importance, Aaron, do you think these two teams are putting on this for further down the road? Is it that important to them at this point in the season, or is it just another game?
Oh, I don't know. I think anytime you match up and it's a playoff type game, I think it does make a bit of a difference. So I think there's a lot of importance on it. Yeah. I took Carolina at home here.
I did too.
It's just kind of a Boston. I don't know. They've been on the road. They've lost a game or two here. It's kind of a spot where I think Carolina can ambush them.
Well, didn't they lose last night? The Bruins, I believe they did. Wasn't it in overtime to the Panthers?
Yeah, they've been on. I think that's two. No. The Tampa was the night before, but yeah, the Florida game last night. Yeah, so they've struggled on this trip. Now, this is the last game of it, but they have struggled on the trip.
Well, just a pretty tough trip.
Yeah.
You got Tampa Bay is as good as anybody.
Yeah.
Florida is playing much better. That was a game they probably thought they would win. And this one tonight, you go into Carolina, you better bring your A game because they're going to play well. I like the total here. I think this could be 3-2. What do you think? I mean, these two teams can clamp down when they want to.
Yeah, I do like the total under the 6 goals here. I think that does make a little bit of sense. As well. Carolina has played a lot of games like this where it's kind of like, it's 2-1 and 3-2 and stuff like that. So I think that could make a little bit of difference as well. I think we're both going Carolina. I'm with you. I think we're both going the under as well in this one. It's going to be interesting to see how this one shakes out. It'll be a good one. There's one other game. It comes on before the NFL. So if you're ready to bet, this one comes on at 11:15 Central Time. Well, that would be about 10 minutes actually now away from this. Michigan State at Purdue. Purdue, obviously, having a very good year, very solid team, ranked number 1 in the country at home here. 8-point favorites, though. I think that's tough to cover against a team like Michigan State. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I'm not high on Michigan State. I've watched them a lot. I don't think they're as talented as they've been, but they usually can keep the game close. I think wasn't it minus 130 on the over-under or 130 on the over-under, I think.
Yeah, the total is 130.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people picking the under, which I think is a pretty good bet on this. I'm looking like 62-58, 63-59, because these two teams don't get up and down the floor. If I was going to bet that, I think Purdue's going to win. I think they are better. They beat them in Michigan State here a couple of weeks ago. I do think they're better, but that 8 points is a bunch when you're playing a Tom Izzo team. They're defensively, they're very good. They're very physical. I think I would take Purdue or Michigan State plus 8 in this one and go under on the total.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement in this one. I kind of like the points as well. I just wanted to point that one out. You got the big NFL games coming on at 2 and 5:30 Central Time. You do have 2 college basketball games that'll tip here in the top 25. Providence and Villanova already started if you want to go bet that one live and kind of follow it. So kind of the appetizer before the big show going on. And let's get to the big show. Let's get to it right now. The 49ers and the Eagles, we'll start with that. That'll kick us off today in the NFL. The line's been 2.5 for the Eagles pretty much the whole week. It has floated up to 3 right now. So the live line right now are the Eagles -3, total sitting at 45. I know you really like this Eagles team a lot. Are you going to take them one more time today?
I have to. I just think they're better than the 49ers. And we discussed this a lot on our show the other night, Thursday night. So I don't want to get into it too deep, but I just feel like Brock Purdy, and I don't have a problem with him at all. And what he's doing is remarkable. He's going to have to make a play or two today to win. And I just don't think he's had to do that to win in the games that he's played in. Today, he's going to have to. I do think he'll have to make plays. Can he do it? I don't know. And because I don't know and I haven't seen it done in this situation, I got to go with the team that I think is more rounded, and that's the Eagles. Now, the Eagles are not going to line up and run the ball on the Niners like they did the Giants. That's not going to happen. The Niners will game plan them. The Niners are going to play very, very well. They're well coached, and they're very good. But so are the Eagles. And I think their skill people are just a tad better, and I just think they're going to win. I hate that it went to 3. I don't know what the difference of 2.5 and 3 is, but it just scared me a little bit because I'm thinking 20-17, 24-21 type of game. So you get a push on that 3. So that's probably what it is.
And it's amazing how many times that will make a difference.
Absolutely.
I think, when I first started betting sports, I would follow people and they would say, boy, that half point here or there. And I'm like, I don't care about half point, but man, in the NFL especially, it seems like they mean something. Somich is taking the Eagles here. He's got the Eagles bet. Like I said, he is taking off, heading home from Gulfstream Park today. He's got the Eagles. Let's see. He didn't have any props in this one. I'll bring up those props when we talk about the next one. Dan's saying he's playing Michigan State +8 and the under the total for the parlay there in that early college basketball game. Tony likes the over today in this one. He says that's his best play today. So we'll see if that comes through. I was going to ask you about that one next, so that's a good segue, Tony. What about that 45 points in this one? You kind of mentioned the scores you think it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't – if it goes over the 45, I think the Eagles win.
I do too.
I just don't think the Niners are going to score that many points. And so I think it's good for the Eagles if it goes over. What the Eagles have to do today is not give the Niners anything. Make them earn their points.
Yep.
Don't give them turnovers. Don't give them short fields. Kicking game's got to be good. Don't turn it over and make Brock Purdy drive them down the field. That's what they have to do, I think, to win. So I don't think it goes over. I think it stays under 45. That's what I would do. But, it's a crapshoot when you're talking the NFL, that's for sure.
Yeah, that line, I thought about taking the over, but I think it's right there. I think you're sweating out the last possession there on that one. So I don't know about that one. That's going to be tight. I'm with everybody. I'm going to go the Eagles here. Same reasoning. I've got confidence that the Eagles will be able to cause enough havoc for Brock Purdy today. And really, maybe not just Brock, but the rest of that offense kind of force them into doing what they don't want to do. So I'm going to Eagles again as well. All right, this is the main event tonight. Boy, this is the one that's just had a ton of talk all week long. An incredible move in the line. And it all has to do with the injury, obviously. But at one point, the Bengals were 2.5-point favorites. Now the Chiefs have floated all the way to down. They're 2-point favorites. They were a point. They were a 1.5. Now they're 2. All right. I saw your pick. You are going to go Kansas City. You dummy. You changed it. I thought you were going to go the Bengals, but you're going Kansas City. Tell us why.
Well, you know why.
I thought we were together on this. I should have called you a dummy. I don't think it's a bad pick, but I thought we were together on this one.
You know why? I just can't bet against Mahomes in Kansas City. I just can't do it. And I do think the Bengals are better. I don't like them shooting their mouth off. I've seen that come back to bite teams many, many times. I don't like that. That bothers me. They've beat them 3 times in a row. That bothers me. I just can't bet against the Chiefs in Arrowhead. I just can't do it. I've seen Mahomes do it too many times.
Yeah.
Now, if what you might do is see how he's holding up after a quarter and bet the end game type thing. If you see him limping around and struggling a little bit, then that changes things.
Yeah.
I'm betting this on the assumption he's okay. And it's hard to believe that he is, but all indications are that he is. And when you have high ankle sprains, having dealt with athletes all my life, pain tolerance means a lot. And some guys have a higher pain tolerance than others do, and there's nothing you can do about that. And evidently he has a high one. The adrenaline will get going. I don't think it's going to bother him. So I just can't bet against him. I hope I am wrong because I am rooting my rear end off for the Bengals. But I hope I'm wrong on this one. I'm not going to bet this.
I think it's a good pick either way you go. I just think this is an incredibly evenly matched type of game. I could go either way. It's going to be so much fun to watch. And listen, if you bet the Chiefs, I don't have anything against you. And our buddy Dan, who's been texting me all day today, and he even brought up yesterday, he loves the Chiefs. He's got to bet big, and he's red hot. So I get it. I'm going to stick with the Bengals. I think they're the overall better team.
I do too.
And I think it all comes down, and I've said it on every show we've done, protecting Burrow is the key. Can the offensive line hold up against a front for Kansas City that is very good at getting pressure? That's going to be the key. If they can protect Burrow, I think the Bengals are going to win. I don't think it'll be that close, honestly, if they protect him. If they don't, it's going to go the other way on him. The other big key, Mixon's got to get going in the running game. I think that's going to be a big key as well. Kind of alleviate that pressure. They got to get Mixon going. So I'm with the Bengals. I get it, though. I totally get it, though. I think if you bet the Chiefs, I can't talk you off of it. It's that kind of game for sure. What about this? Go ahead.
Well, either way, we're going to get a great Super Bowl.
Yes, and that's great.
It's really going to be good. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's any matchup we get. The story of San Francisco and Mr. Irrelevant in the Super Bowl would be incredible.
Unbelievable.
The Eagles have been the best team all years from a record standpoint. And then
Hurts is a good story too.
Well, Hurts is a good story
too. Yeah,
absolutely. But he's not as a shocking story like.
Oh no, not like Purdy. No,
Purdy. And then with the Chiefs or the Bengals, I mean, that writes itself. There's no worries there. That's
glamour teams, and glamour players right there. So
yeah, for sure. Well, it's going to be good. Your Chiefs, I'm Bengals. We'll see what happens here. Like I said, can't talk you off anything you do. All right. We had a couple of, somebody was asking about it. Here it is. Santa Anita Race 2 is our race of the day. Faustin are having a meltdown. That's what Shoddy wants to know here. It's a field of 5. It's not the greatest betting race in the world for Bob Baffert's, obviously. But it is a race that can have some down the road, Kentucky Derby. It's going to have some implications. Let's put it that way. What did you think here? Who did you go with in this short field of 5?
Well, I wanted to pick the other guy.
That would be funny.
My hat's off to him for throwing one in there. Yeah. To where we have at least one horse that's not a Baffert horse. Well, you know how I have to go after what I said yesterday about Arabian Night. And by the way, let's go ahead and mention that since I brought it up. Yes, he's proven it to me now.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to have some proof that and I don't know how good the field was. We don't know. That will be further down the line. But to go wire to wire pretty much in the slop at Oaklawn is pretty impressive. And I thought he was really good. Didn't you? Weren't you impressed with him?
Yeah, I'll talk about him.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So anyway, to go to this, I got to go with the one having a meltdown down for the same reason. The others don't have the track record that this guy does. I mean, he's proven, and the others have just broke their maiden. So for that reason, I've got to go with having a meltdown in this one. Ran 4 times. Everybody says, though, that this 2-horse Faustin is the next best thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to find out today.
It's a really interesting situation that's happening in this one because I like having a meltdown at this distance. I think he is meant for this distance. He's proven to be a very good sprinter. So I really like having a meltdown here. It's going to be really interesting though, because I think Faustin is the best horse, but I don't really think he's suited for this distance.
Right.
If Faustin wins this race, I think he's going to be really good towards the Kentucky Derby because he should run a race where it's kind of like having the meltdowns in front, couple 3 lengths in front, Faustin comes late, just misses type of thing. That's what I kind of have in my mind. But I'm really high on Faustin. I thought his maiden race was really good. Michael mentions this. Faustin has been training right with Arabian Night. They worked in tandem and they were stride and stride. So if you like Arabian Night, Faustin certainly makes a lot of sense here as well. So I'm kind of with Michael. I'm going to just play them both and move on. I don't think you need to use anybody else in here. And it's just a situation. Will the sprinter type horse get the job done and be able to hold off the horse that wants to go a little longer? Or is that horse that wants to go a little longer and Faustin just that good? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting race for sure. Like I said, I don't think you need to use anybody else, though. Did you like anybody else?
Well, I just wanted to mention, I thought it was interesting that Timeform went with the 3-horse, Fort Warren, which really kind of threw me.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they think there's a speed duel that might emerge. I don't know. So,
well, no, I think, those Timeform picks, like their actual picks they put up there, it's basically just who's run the fastest number in the last couple of races. So Timeform really liked Fort Warren's, I think it was his last race. I can't remember. But yeah, he's only ran one. So it was his last race, obviously. They rated that race awfully high. So that's why it's kind of like, I don't know that for sure, but I think it's just like a computer generated thing that it spits out that number that ran the biggest number. He did beat Spun Intended on debut. Spun Intended came back to romp. So Fort Warren is definitely one to look out for. I think. I don't know if today's his day though.
Right.
So we will see. Yeah. Quickly, before we get to the best bets, we will mention what happened yesterday. In the Southwest, since we're on the 3-year-old bandwagon here for a second. Arabian Night, very impressive. Just came out about an hour ago, earned a 96 buyer for that effort, or was assigned a 96 buyer for that effort. So pretty good race. And then Red Route 1 comes in. I think he got an 87, so he wasn't real close. He took it to him, and that's what a good horse does. Takes it to him early, even though you see a lot of speed on paper. If you're elite, that's what you kind of do, or you're really good, you just go out in front and run them into submission. That's what happened. He cooked all the other horses, except for Frosted Departure. I thought he ran a valiant race. I thought he tried. He didn't just quit like some of the other horses. So, what were your thoughts on Arabian Night?
I thought he was very impressive. He did what he needed to do to impress me, which that doesn't mean much. But yeah, he went out and proved himself. Red Route 1, my God, he got too far behind.
Yeah.
He had no chance to catch him. It was a great, impressive thing. He did exactly what you said he was going to do. But I don't think there's any future for him. I just don't.
I think he's looking at Lee again,
Yeah, that's a good analysis.
Yeah.
He's going to run his guts out, but I don't think he's talented enough.
People like Zenyatta is just the exception to this rule. When you drop that far out, that's what happens. You always come with a nice run, but you never can quite get there, Yeah.
And then,
tactical speed is so important in racing, especially on the dirt. The turf's a little different, but on the dirt, you got to have it. And he's always going to be up against it.
Yeah. And like I said, you just can't make against a great horse. You can't make that up. So
yeah,
I don't know about him. Corona Bolt was pretty disappointing, I guess. And that's bad. How much significance do you put? I know I thought it was interesting that Baffert was there yesterday.
First time since 2011 that Bob Baffert had been at Oakland Park. Of course, he did lose that race that he was at Oakland Park. That's what Park
you were there that day.
It's a factor. I have no idea why Bob was there, but I looked at it like, well, that's a good sign.
I thought for sure. I thought it was very interesting that he was there for the Southwest when he's not there for the Arkansas Derby or the Rebel.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I can't totally say this for sure, but since I've started following it, which is almost 20 years now, it's only the second time I remember him being there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's highly unusual. So I don't know what that means. Maybe he just wanted a vacation in the Arkansas mountains, but he didn't have a very good weather day to be there. But I thought it was I heard his comments after the race. He made a comment that this horse might be as good as American Pharaoh. I thought that was interesting that he said that. Now, the next thing will be, what will his next move be with that horse? And so what do you think? Just take him back to California and win the Santa Anita Derby with him, or what do you think?
Well, Bob Baffert's not going to win the Santa Anita Derby with him. It'll have to be a different trainer, and that's going to be – that's
right.
Right. That's my problem. Like,
that's right.
I don't know. I can't predict any kind of future for any of his horses until we know where they're at. So,
yeah. So do you think he would run him back in the Rebel? Or would he skip that and save him for the Arkansas Derby?
Cave Rock is supposed to come to the Rebel, but we haven't really seen a work from Cave Rock yet. He's galloping, haven't seen a timed work. So it just depends on when Cave Rock comes back, and he's got to do some juggling. So I don't know. To me, I would send him back for the Rebel, but I don't know. And then again, after February 28th, we don't know what barn they're going to be at. So the Baffert thing, it's like
it's just up in the air.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he knows exactly what to do with a horse to win the Triple Crown. Absolutely. So no one needs to question anything this guy does.
Yeah,
because he knows what to do. They'll know. They'll look at that horse this morning, probably, and they already have, and they'll know exactly what they're going to do with him. You know, they can tell. They just know.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be interesting to see how the Baffert thing shakes out. And who knows? I mean, this take says, hey, Baffert going to keep him, going to go win the Arkansas Derby with him, and then go win the Preakness. I mean, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think that would be interesting. He's exciting. I'm not ready to call him American Pharaoh yet, but he is exciting, and he will be formidable in his next start, no doubt about it. So. All right, let's go to the bets. To the best bets. I'll start off with Somich's best bet here. He's pretty excited about this one. He's going to go to Gulfstream Park, race 11, the number 9 at 5-1 on the board here. If you want to know the full reasoning, by the way, the number 9 is Mrs. Astor is the horse's name. But if you want to know the full reasoning, he actually did a stable him up video in December after this horse ran, and he said, stable this horse up, keep an eye on this horse next time she enters. She's shown up here. She's in the last leg of that mandatory pick six payout today at Gulfstream Park. He's excited about this one. So his best bet, Gulfstream Park, race 11, the number 9, 5-1 on the morning line. We'll see if we get that. So that's going to be interesting to see that one come in. Papa Dude, let's go to yours. You got another parlay here. Tell us about it.
All right. I've already talked about the Eagles, so don't really need to talk about them. I was going to bet the spread on the Eagles, but when I went to 3, I chickened out. So I'll just take them on the money line because we're still getting good money if the other one comes in. Quinnipiac, one of my favorite not small college, but D1 lesser conference teams, goes into Iona today, and they're getting 8 points, and they beat Iona 81-58 a couple of weeks ago. So we're expecting Iona to improve 31 points in 2 weeks, and I've seen Iona, and Iona has beat me a couple of times. I think Iona gets the benefit of the doubt because Patino is the coach. What's his? I can't think of his first name. What?
Rick
Pitino, I think, gets a lot of recognition because he deserves it. And I think Iona's overrated. They're not playing very well. They're coming off a really bad loss at Siena the other night, which isn't a bad team, but they had the lead and just got destroyed in the second half. I don't think that's a good sign. Quinnipiac has won 6 straight. I think they keep this game under 8. Iona may win, but I like them at +8. Now combine them with the Eagles winning, you get +210 money. I think that's a decent value bet.
Okay. I like it. Let's go Eagles. Let's go Quinnipiac. When is that game going to start, that basketball?
It might already be going. I don't know.
Oh probably is. I don't think it was one of the early ones.
It may be 1 o'clock.
Now, let me look up here so people know when to get that one going. There's not very many games anywhere in the league, like any league today. It's pretty quiet. Let's see. That game's going to start at noon Central Time,
right? So
1 o'clock Eastern. So go ahead and get that bet in if you want to follow along with Papa Dude there. You have a little morning action before the main event there. That would be great. See, this will get over right when that game is
absolutely
go.
Yeah,
that would be great. Good job. I forgot to mention Somich when we were talking about the Chiefs game. He also likes Debo over 19.5 rushing yards, and he likes McKinnon over 3.5 receptions, as well as the Chiefs to win that game. So there's Somich's pick there. All right, last one for me. I'm going to go to that Chiefs-Bengals game. I'm going to go over that total. The total right now at 47.5. I kind of said, hey, I'm not real confident one way or the other on this game. I think it could go either way. I'm pretty confident they're going to score today, and I think it's going to go over the total. 28-24 either way, right?
Yep.
27-24 either way. I think that's what it's going to be. I think that's what they're going to get to. I would be really surprised if it ends like 20-17. I think that's just not the realistic score. I think it's going to go over. So I'm going over that total of 47.5 here with the Chiefs and the Bengals. That's going to be mine today. We'll see what happens. All right, Papa Dude. I was saving this for the last. So here are the best bets. I said on the show, if Arabian Night is below 4-5, play the 6-7 exacta.
Yep.
We had a meeting. You said you were going to give it to me. Everybody was agreeing. They're giving me the 6-7 exacta because Arabian Night was 2-5. The 6-7 exacta paid $11.70 for a buck. So we are up. We are up big for the week now and for the year.
Yeah, and you deserve it. I sat right here and heard it. So you said that you would not take Arabian Night, or if he went under 4-5.
Okay.
Your best bet was the exacta.
There we go. I like it. All right. That's it. We're keeping it. That's the rules. We make up the rules of this show. It's our show. All right, here we go. Best bets. We'll go through them now. Chiefs, Bengals over 47.5 for me today. Papa Dude's going Quinnipiac +8 and the Eagles on the money line +210 for that parlay. So boy, that would be really nice for that one. And then Somich is going to a stable him up horse that he did in December, Gulfstream Park, race 11. He's going the number 9 at 5-1 on the money line. All right, guys. 5-1 on the morning line, I should say. All right, everybody. We're heading off. Have a good one. Good luck, everybody. And we will see you back here on Wednesday.